Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. If it's your first time seeing me, go ahead and like this video because I know you're gonna like it already. And if you already are subscribed, hey babies, welcome back. I am a spiritual mentor. All of my content here is about healing you and helping you reach your highest self. So let's get into our affirmation of the video. This affirmation card says, as I say yes to life, life says yes to me. Can I get an amen on that? As I say yes to life, life says yes to me. Life mirrors my every thought. As I keep my thoughts positive, life brings to me only good experiences. Life mirrors my every thought. As I keep my thoughts positive, life brings to me only good experiences. So very beautiful card for our video. This is the first video of the new year, so happy new year, everyone. It's definitely been a while since I made a video. I feel like every time I make videos now, I start up with, it's been a while since I made a video. I haven't seen you guys in a minute. So the past couple of days, I have been a little under the weather, and also I feel like the things I've been experiencing in this new year, full moon, Mercury retrograde, have definitely been very telling. I definitely feel I've been in a space of receiving a lot of downloads, understanding a lot of things about our collective consciousness and how we're moving, where we're moving. So we're going to be talking about that today. Please bear with me if I sound, congested or anything like that, because I am, honey. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get into it. First things first, guys, the arm cuffs are available. You guys can shop these now. They dropped on January 1st. These are available, so you guys can shop these at the link down below. These are made with gold and amethyst, and I'm absolutely obsessed with these. Also, the astro guides are available as well. So the 2023 beginner astro guide is basically a beginner's introduction to astrology for the year 2023. In the astro guide, I have the full moons, the new moons, every retrograde, and every eclipse as well. I also have information about the eclipses, the retrogrades, how you can prepare for every retrograde, what to do in every retrograde. I also talk about how to prepare for every zodiac season. So there's a lot of information in the guide, and it's $15. So if you guys are interested, I'll have that link down below directly so you guys can go and get that and download that PDF. But I'm really excited about the guide, and also I'm excited to talk about some beginner birth chart and astrology stuff with you guys. That's coming soon. Please believe it's coming soon. I was not expecting to be under the weather this week, obviously. But I feel like, coming into the year with stillness has definitely done me a lot of good. So let's just kind of talk about what's been going on in the collective consciousness and what everybody's been experiencing. A lot of y'all had asked me about the pick a card for the full moon in Cancer, because y'all know I always do pick a cards for the full moon and the new moon. Obviously, I was sick, so I did not do one. Well, I don't think I was sick. I think that the days just kind of really got away from me when I started, in the new year. The days definitely got away from me, but let's talk about the full moon in Cancer that we had on January 6th. So the full moon in Cancer, obviously we know Cancer is water. Cancer is the energy of, emotions, heightened emotions, intuitiveness, love, relationships. So I definitely feel with this Cancer energy, it was pushing a lot of us to be vulnerable, maybe in spaces where we were uncomfortable being vulnerable, or even if you weren't vulnerable to other people, you could have possibly had a breakdown on your own, or you could have possibly realized like, wow, this feeling of sadness has been attached to this. This feeling of frustration has been attached to this. That's what the last full moon was about. Realizing where is the source of your trigger. What is triggering you emotionally? What is affecting you emotionally? What changes do you need to make, And again, the Cancer is an intuitive energy. So I think Cancers are definitely one of the most intuitive signs just innately. So the full moon in Cancer, and obviously it's a full moon, child. We know full moons are about things being revealed to us and seeing things that we need to see, having that veil being lifted. So this full moon was definitely one where the veil was lifted, the tea was spilled, and everything was kind of laid out. So emotionally, there definitely should have been a lot of work that you did. I'm sure you've been experiencing a lot of stuff emotionally. I think it's definitely not too late to do a releasing ritual if there are certain things that you experienced for the full moon that weigh heavily on you now in this space. And of course, we have Mercury in retrograde. And Mercury in retrograde obviously means miscommunication. We're going to be feeling a little iffy about making big decisions. We're going to have to really take our time and really tap into that critical thinking. But that link to our critical thinking is going to be a little bit skewed, especially with all of this emotions coming in. And a new year is already very, very emotional in itself. You know what I'm saying? Like the new year for me, and for everybody, what I've been experiencing from the new year with the collective consciousness is grief. Like this new year was definitely a time for grief for a lot of people. A lot of people are grieving actual physical deaths of family members, people who have actually passed away. A lot of people are grieving friendships that they've lost recently. A lot of people are grieving, having to move, having lost their job, having to, live in a certain way. Maybe you used to be able to travel and do this, and now things are different because we're in a recession, you know what I'm saying? So we have all of these different things piling up on us, and grief has just been the energy that everybody has definitely been surrounded in, especially since the last eclipse season that we were dealing with, in the last quarter of the year. I definitely feel a lot of the energy that everyone was coming into 2023 with was grief. People were coming into 2023 somber, humbled. I think last year definitely humbled all of us. And I feel like there definitely has been a collective understanding of this is what life is. This is what I can control. This is what I cannot control. This is what controls me. This is what I have power of, because all of those things are true. In this life, there are things that you control, absolutely. There are also things that you cannot control. There are things that are controlling you, absolutely. So all of those things are true, and I feel like we were really able to understand what was affecting us in what ways. And if you needed some last minute clarity or some last minute things coming together, this full moon in Cancer definitely brought those things to the surface and, really gave you an opportunity to see where these things were stemming from. This also was a time to kind of think about things or focus on things that maybe were a little painful, focus on things that maybe were a little bit difficult. I don't know what's going on with Pluto right now, but it's definitely coming to me, the energy of Pluto energy. Whenever Pluto is in retrograde, or just the planet of Pluto in general, is about depth. It's about things that you buried way, way, way long ago, and let's be real, 2020, everybody was like, oh, this is going to be my year. We saw what happened. 2021, everybody was like, this is going to be my year. We saw what happened. 2022, everybody was like, this is going to be my year for real. And we saw what happened. I don't think everybody necessarily was giving that energy for 2023. And I think that's a good thing. I think it's better when we enter spaces with humility and expectation and just being open versus, oh, this is the year I'm going to do this and this and this and this. I'm going to be this productive. I'm going to make this amount of money. I'm going to do this and this. And it's very good to be very specific. It's very good to have those goals. But just like I said, there are things that are out of your control. There are things that are out of your control, and a part of manifestation is release. A part of manifestation is acceptance. A part of bringing new things into your life is understanding it might not come when you want it. It might not come how you think it will, but it will always come when you need it in the way that you need it to come to you. Especially if you're manifesting something to come into your life, at the harm to none and serving your greatest good. It might be a while, or who knows how long. It might take a little minute, though, for those manifestations to unlock for you. There could be a job that you prayed for in 2019 that you might be getting this year. I feel like we're going to be seeing the harvest from things that we have been working on and trying to do for the last couple of years. If you've been really working to heal something or release something for years, if in 2020 you did a lot of shadow work or you were really able to see what was happening, what was going on with you, I definitely feel like now is the time to make things happen. A lot of people have been talking about the year 2023, which adds up to 7. You have 2, 2, 3, 7. 7 is a divine number. The number 7 is used so many times in the Bible. In, ritual work, we see the number 7 all the time in nature. So, of course, we are always in these spaces so the number 7 is something that we experience a lot, and this is a 7 years. So people have definitely just been talking about, the change and the blessings and the things that are really going to be unlocking for a lot of us this year. But a lot of us enter this year with our expectations very, very, very low. Like, a lot of people had little to no expectation for this year, and really we're just planning on surviving. Really, we're just planning on living. Like, I feel like the last couple of years as well, we care less about money. We care less about, things that we realize just do not matter. Now we're in a space where we can understand what really has value. We understand also what we can control, like I've been saying, and how that affects us. If you put your focus on the things that you cannot control, there's probably going to be a cap to your happiness, or a cap to your success, or a cap to this high vibrational energy that's pushing you forward. Because what do you do when you don't get the job? What do you do when you don't get approved for the place and you've had it in your mind that this is a representation of your success? This is a representation of your connection to God. I feel like the last couple of years we've been able to realize that the only thing that is a balance of your connection to God is that the connection that you have with God. Like, there is no way to put a balance on it. There is no way to measure it. It's not like the more you manifest, the closer you are, the less pain you have, the closer you are. That is not the case. And I feel like this year really was an opportunity for us to understand that on all levels. It really was an opportunity for us to see the bigger picture and realize that, you know, life is bigger than the pain that we experience on a day-to-day basis, and the things that we can and cannot manifest. You know what I'm saying? So I feel, you know, this year, a lot of us are going to be very pleasantly surprised with the things that we're able to achieve. I definitely feel like life has been humbling all of us since 2020, as it should. You know what I'm saying? We thought we was going to do too much in 2020, girl. I feel like a lot of us have also changed how we set our goals. We've changed how we measure success, and we've changed the type of work that we put in to get the results that we want. Like, a lot of us are understanding, if I want to go to the gym and lose weight and get fine, or I want to go to the gym and bulk up, gain weight, whatever, get healthy, get active, get in shape. It's not just about that. It's not just about the physical results. You might also have to work on motivation and discipline and releasing unhealthy habits, or releasing things that just are not aligning with that mentally. You know, I feel like this is definitely going to be a year of mental health. And not in the sense of people talking about mental health, because people have been doing that. But I feel like this is going to be an opportunity for people to really heal themselves on a different level. And I've definitely been doing it. So let me just tell you guys about, you know, a couple of things that I've experienced just so far in the first couple of days of the year. First things first, every day I go outside. Now, this might seem a little crazy, but I work from home. I have cats, you know, and by cats, I mean, I don't have like a dog that I have to take outside. I work from home, so I don't really ever have to leave. I cook, so I don't have to go get delivery or go get food. Like, I low-key don't ever really have to leave my apartment. And I've definitely had days, like 3 or 4 days, where I just have not been outside. And when I finally go outside, I'm like, damn, have I been outside this week? Like, it'll be a really long time before I get some fresh air, and that really makes me appreciate outside so much. I never was a kid that liked being outside, you know, like I have sensitive skin, I have eczema, so obviously being in heat just always made me uncomfortable, and I never liked being outside. I never liked being in the sun ever growing up. And one of the first readings I got when I started getting into this work, before I even knew how to read, someone did a reading for me and told me, I see you outside. I feel like your energies want you to be outside. And anytime I've done a reading over the years, people have always seen me outside. Or even when I did my past life regression and I was hypnotized, I was outside. Like, I was outside. So I think being outside is a very big thing for me. And I feel like the things that we tend to not do are typically the things that can really unlock so many things for us. You know, that's just how the universe works. So I've challenged myself to go outside every day and start my morning with me going outside. And it's been cold, you know, but I've been putting my jacket on and going outside anyway, and just spending the morning either looking at the sunrise or looking at the sky just after the sun has set. And I've also been working to kind of turn my mental around in terms of anxiety and depression. Now, give me 6 months and I might be able to make a video about this, but I had some very high anxiety about a conversation that I had to have a couple of days ago. And if you're like me, I don't want to call the dentist. I don't want to call the doctor. I don't want to call somebody and have an uncomfortable conversation, or call somebody and not know what to say. So much so that I won't. Like, when I have to make a dentist appointment, I have a dentist that texts. So I literally text my dentist. Like, that's how I have a problem. But anyway, it is what it is, honey. But anyway, I had anxiety, crippling anxiety about this conversation that I had to have. I just really wanted it to go right. I didn't want to be gaslit. I just really wanted it to go right. I really wanted this person to understand what I was saying and respect where I was coming from. And I was instantly getting anxious about it. Like, I felt the knot in my stomach. I felt myself getting hot. You know how you feel when you get anxious. And I was like, why am I getting anxious about this? Like, what the fuck? Like, no, like, because in this situation, I knew that I didn't have anything to be afraid about. The situation had already kind of transpired, and I was comfortable with how the situation had transpired. I just had anxiety about relaying the situation and talking about what happened and kind of having to dig those things back up. It was giving me so much fucking anxiety. And I, you know, kind of tried to, you know, talk myself down a little bit. I reached out to a couple of my friends and let them know what I was experiencing, let them know what I had going on, let them know I was feeling anxiety. And my friends were able to reassure me, and I believed them. You know, that's something too when you're dealing with anxiety anxiety, depression. People might tell you, oh, it's going to be okay. People might tell you, oh, you don't need to worry about that. But do you believe them? Probably not. So I'm definitely challenging myself to believe the people that I trust. Like, if I trust you to have a conversation with you and you give me advice, I'm going to believe that, and I'm going to apply that to my life instead of just being like, oh no, they don't know what I'm really going through, and continuously being on a cycle. Because obviously if I trust you, you might have some, good words for me. So let me listen to that and take heed. So I took into account what my friends had to say. I took into account, what I knew and felt about the situation. And I was really able to feel confident about it and release my anxiety completely before I had the conversation. Like, when I had the conversation, I felt so good about it. And that really was important to me, because I don't think I've ever been able to successfully redirect my attention from my anxiety for anything like that. And I basically just said that to kind of tell you guys that I feel like a lot of us are in the business of self-healing and self-soothing. And I mean outside of medication, outside of prescriptions, because I've done that too. I think a lot of us are in the space where I don't want to have to grab a pill. I don't want to have to smoke a blunt. I don't want to have to take a glass of wine. I don't want to have to do these things to get myself together. Like, I want to be able to talk myself down. I want to be able to have those conversations and do it for myself. I want to be able to take some deep breaths, or, just do it for me on my own. And that was something that was really, really important to me. And I feel like anybody that deals with anxiety, depression, and you are young, you kind of have a mind to deal with that shit before you get older. Because who the fuck wants to be crib about this shit at fucking 40, bitch? I'm trying to get this done with, okay? Now, it ain't ever gonna be done, but I am happy that I'm using my support system to my benefit. I'm happy that I'm utilizing the sources and the energies around me. So I definitely want to encourage you guys to use your support system, take advantage of the people that you have around you. And we become so self-sufficient on this journey, because this journey is about healing yourself so you can be the best version of yourself for the people around you. Very rarely we kind of talk about how to healthily communicate. I need help. Can you help me? Do you have advice for me? Because a lot of times we can feel like we're light years ahead spiritually or energetically from the people around us. And I feel like I don't have any friends that read tarot. I don't have any friends that do what I do, but that doesn't mean that my friends are not spiritually advanced. That doesn't mean that my friends don't know God. That doesn't mean that my friends cannot connect and give me messages that are going to give me what I need. You know what I'm saying? So if you have people in your life and you honestly love them, they love you, you have support in those relationships, really challenge yourself to use your community this year. Really challenge yourself to reach out to the people that are around you, and really challenge yourself to kind of build up your expectations again. Like I said, a lot of us enter this year humbly, and ain't nothing wrong with that, but you don't want to get to the point where you're selling yourself short because of so much disappointment. All of the L's we experienced in the last couple of years, all the grief, all the ups and the downs, they definitely have brought us to a place where we can be free. We can manifest differently. We can attract things differently. We can have better relationships. We can be freed from things that could have been holding us bound, just like the devil energy in the tarot deck. When you see the problem, you have the power. When you see the problem, you have the power. Like, think about the last couple of years, like you finally getting your diagnosis when you've been struggling with doctors for decades. Think about the peace that you must feel after finally figuring out what's wrong with you. That's what we should all feel in this moment. Like, I don't care who you are, we've all had an opportunity since 2020, we have had an opportunity to be confronted with our shadow. You know what's wrong with you. You know what's wrong with you. Don't play. We know what's wrong with us. We know our shadow. We know our problems. We know our issues. Regardless if you into spirituality or not, regardless if you're cognizant of your relationship with God or not, your devil, your shadow, your problems, your insecurities, your bad habits, they have revealed themselves in the last couple of years. And that ain't the only time they revealed themselves, but they definitely did for sure in the last couple of years. Like, we've had a lot of very hard lessons, a lot of rough lessons, but it's definitely been a lot of tough love. But I feel like the knowledge that we can potentially tap into now is really life-changing. Like, I went a really long time without even knowing that I had anxiety, that I had depression, that I had PTSD, that I had this laundry list of, mental health disorders. I went a long time without knowing that. And in that not knowing, it was very, very hard. It felt like a lot of darkness. And when I started to discover what was wrong with me, why I was experiencing those things, that I couldn't really do anything to change it right then and there, that's a hard discovery. That's kind of debilitating as well. But on the other side of that, you're able to find solutions. And I'm 27, and I didn't think that at 27, I'd be just figuring out how to deal with my anxiety, or just starting to figure out how to combat those energies, successfully. I had no fucking idea. I definitely would have expected that by now I just would have been permanently medicated, realistically speaking. I feel like we've had a lot of opportunities to tap into those hard lessons and those hard truths. And now we're in a space where we can put all of these things into practice. It's just about finding the energy, because we absolutely have been drained and beat down and stumped on by life. So now it's about finding that energy and replenishing you, replenishing what you need, replenishing how you feel, so you can kind of get back to you and rebuild that relationship that you have with you. So yeah, I definitely feel that this year is going to be very, 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 very telling, very, very revealing. I feel like we're going to be stepping into spaces that we didn't expect to step into. And you're definitely going to surprise yourself this year. So set the goal to surprise yourself. But yes, guys, I basically just wanted to kind of come to y'all and let you guys know collectively what we're experiencing in this new space. And of course, we know the real new year doesn't start until the spring equinox. So I'm very excited for spring, and I'm very excited for, everything that we're going to experience this year, all the things that I'm going to share with you guys this year. New Year's are always so special. Such a blessing to be here. I'm so grateful for all of you who are here. So yes, I appreciate y'all. I love you guys. I thank you guys for being here. Remember to check out the arm cuffs. Remember to check out the astro guide. You can still, of course, book sessions with me at the link down below and all that good stuff. So yes, I will see you guys later. I thank you guys and I honor you, and I will see you later on. Bye guys. Bless.